I recently asked you guys for some suggestions on topics, and as always you delivered. I would like to thank that poet Bobby Mask for the idea of covering the topic of sky beasts. These cryptid animals are said to be living in the Earth's atmosphere and are also known as atmospheric beasts. Let's take a look at these non-avian flying creatures and see what we can learn. Welcome to IF, videos on history, mystery and the strange. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video again. To begin, let's have a description of the animals. Sky beasts are said to be a type of wingless life form which make their home in the atmosphere of our planet, and some say other worlds too. These mysterious animals are said to live their entire life cycles in the clouds. Being lighter than air, this is something that requires little effort on their part. There is a wide variation in types when it comes to atmospheric beasts. Some could be considered floating algae, airborne microorganisms, and others are large balloon-like organisms whose bodies are filled with hydrogen or other gases. Some have tentacles or flipper-like organs, and in some reports they are actually cloud-like, being not completely solid and able to change their density and their size. They are very similar to the creatures I looked at in my video titled The Flying Spaghetti Monster, linked above. Another strange phenomena that is linked to the sky beast is star jelly. This is the idea that when one of these creatures dies, it falls to Earth and becomes a smelly, gelatinous mass. These strange jelly lumps are found globally and when discovered usually evaporate in less than a few hours. Where these animals originated from is up for debate. Some say that they evolved from terrestrial animals like jellyfish or moles, while others say they are a space-based organism that feed in the atmosphere of planets they come across as they migrate through the cosmos. Many strange pictures of these animals have been snapped, but there are still many that think these animals are no more than camera errors or artifacts in a photograph. But consider this: ocean covers the majority of our planet, and people are happy to accept that the sea could hide a myriad of different creatures that we have yet to discover. In fact, new species are almost discovered daily in the oceans of the world. Why can this logic not be applied to the sky? The atmosphere of the planet extends approximately 621 miles above the surface, and the volume of the Earth's atmosphere in cubic miles is 142,782,184,457.44, whereas a cubic mile of seawater is 139,668,500 square miles. A large number, but a lot less than the measurement we have for Earth's atmosphere. If we can accept that this measurement of the ocean would be packed with marine life, some of which is unknown, then what could be hidden in the vast number we have for the atmosphere? For the longest time, people have reported seeing animals that they have named air whales and air krakens. This, along with smaller creatures known as rods or skyfish. Many have come forward with their ideas on what these mysterious flying cryptids could be, but one man could be considered an expert. Paranormal investigator Ivan T. Sanderson has authored several books on the subject. In these books, he gives a number of ideas as to what people are seeing. He even suggests that some UFO reports could actually be these animals or extremely low density animals that are native to the clouds. Sanderson also referenced the work of Carl Sagan, who said that it was very possible that some kind of balloon-like beast could be part of the creatures we will eventually discover when we explore gas giants such as Jupiter. But let's not run away with ourselves. Let's stick to this planet. There have been numerous photographs of these anomalous animals, and they show flying objects that do not conform to the recognizable body patterns of flying animals such as birds or insects. As I said earlier, they are often confused for UFOs, and their shapes do match, but the atmospheric beasts are clearly biological entities rather than some type of machine. Some say that the best of these captured images was taken in 1961. Scientific journalist Bruno Giabodi was driving along the highway that ran adjacent to the Monte Silvano beach in Italy when the tire of his car blew out. Pulling over, the man exited the car, and this is when he spotted a multi-winged, or possibly finned, object soaring over the ocean at a low altitude. The man kept his cool, grabbed his camera, and snapped a single picture. This picture caught the fast-moving object, which Bruno said was distinctly a living thing. This leading us into more sightings and interactions with these cryptids. One encounter occurred in 1891 at Crawfordville, Indiana. Published in the September 5th edition of the Indianapolis Journal was a story that claimed at about 2 a.m. on September 4th, two local men were fixing a wagon. The pair were confused when looking into the sky, and they were shocked to see something that they said was a horrible apparition cruising the clouds above them. What these men reported was a very strange animal. They said that it was rectangular in shape with many fins running along its body. Its body measured in at 8 feet in width and 20 feet in length. The movement of the thing reminded the men of swimming as it passed over them at an altitude of less than 100 feet. These men were in a blind panic by the creature appearing over them and dropped what they were doing and ran. Many said that these men had perhaps been indulging in a few drinks or could be outright lying. This was until the story was corroborated by a local priest, Reverend G.W. Switzer, a local Methodist pastor who, along with his wife, also claimed to have seen the sky beast. The naysayers would also get to experience the creature themselves when hundreds of people saw it reappear in the sky over Crawfordville. These witnesses gave the same description of the beast seen by the two men who had been repairing their wagon, but in addition, they described a single cycloptic flaming red eye at the front of the animal. A wheezing, plaintive noise was coming from the beast, and it looked like it was squirming in agony. The Crawfordville monster undulated and swooped in from a height of about 300 feet, diving on the spectators. Those who narrowly avoided the apparent attack of this beast swore that they could feel its hot breath as it rushed past them. All reports of this incident refer to the flying object as a living thing. There was also another bizarre atmospheric monster, this time spotted in the sky over Scotland. The Shetland Islands are a group of islands off of the Scottish coast, and it was the local residents of these small communities that were in for a shock. The islanders know the creature only as it, and it is not like any other type of creature on this planet. The people refer to it as a cloud animal that makes its home in the skies above them and, for reasons unknown, occasionally makes a long journey down to the ground. The creature is said to be harmless, and those that have had a physical interaction with the beastie say that they were licked by its gargantuan soft tongue. One interaction reported by a local policeman on the island describes a run-in with this type of animal that happened while the police officer was cycling his patrol route. The shocked and confused Bobby claimed that it enveloped him, creating the feeling of being wrapped in a soft blanket, which smelt of mildew. It, the being, which the officer was convinced was a living thing, swiftly rose up into the sky and flew away. The shaken officer claimed that it had been one of the most terrifying experiences of his entire life. These few tales are merely a handful of the reports and pictures of what could well be a species of yet to be identified atmospheric animal. Many cryptozoologists are in consensus that these strange animals do have the ability to not only modify their size and density, but may also use a unique and extremely effective form of camouflage to hide themselves from the millions of eyes below. This means that if the creatures really do exist, there could be thousands, if not millions, flying around the sky above, and we would have little to no clue. What do you think these animals are? Do you think they are real? Have they evolved from this planet? Or are they extraterrestrial in origin? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.